What's up, YouTube? I'm back. Finally, today, we get to make a movie. Well, not a movie, but today I get to make two videos. Today is going to be a nice little video discussion for you guys out there who may be sexually frustrated and may need some advice that might actually be helpful for you for once. And that is, what happens if you don't know when to move on from a girl that you like? And I noticed that a lot of these jackass pickup artists and dating coaches, they're never going to tell you that at some point in life, whether it's at work, at school, whether it's at the gym, whether it's at the nightclub or the bar, at some point, you're going to have to move on. It happens to all of us. Don't take it personal. It happens to the best of us. And this is for all men, black, white, Latino, Asian, Russian, German. Doesn't matter if you're 18, 25, 30, 35, 45, 50. Doesn't matter what your age is as a man, as a heterosexual man. At some point in your life, you may be forced to move on, or you might just have to willingly move on because the girl doesn't want to give you the time of day. And in this video, I'm going to break down I'm going to see if I can get to 5 possible scenarios. And one of those scenarios might have already happened to you, or you soon will experience it, and you might need someone to come on camera like me, of course, and break this shit down so you can understand it to a science on why you may not be getting the beautiful, attractive woman you think you get. So let's get to number 1. Pickup artists and dating coaches, they don't tell you when you need to stop trying to approach women. Now, I did make a series called Be a Rock Star, Don't Be a Robot, and I ended up making 5 videos, and that ended up being a completely whole entire series on sexual harassment. But what I didn't cover in those videos were what happens when you get to a point where you get rejected. When is it okay to take 2 or 3 steps back and say, maybe in 2 years, maybe in 3 years, I take another crack at it, and maybe then someone might come along and reciprocate my feelings. Or as some professional athletes call it, my vindication. Better known as my respect, my just due. They have nicknames for all type of it. Now, the one that usually happens a lot to a lot of heterosexual men, whether you're black, white, Latino, Asian, is you're an older man and there's always a younger woman that's from the age of 18 to 27. And men from the ages of 35 to 65 find themselves physically, sexually attracted to younger women from the age of 18 to 27. Sometimes she could be 28, 29, but most of the time, about 99.99% of the time, a man from the ages of 35 to 65 years old is physically, sexually attracted to a woman that's from the ages of 18 to 27. And a lot of times what happens at the workplace is you get these fat 250 pound or 350 pound or 450 pound fat, ugly ass land whale type of bitches who seem to always get in the way of your prime objective. You know, whether it's to hang out with a girl, whether it's to be friends with someone, whether it's to try to get to know someone outside the company, outside the store. It's like powerful forces at work. And all of a sudden you find yourself hitting this damn wall. And you're scratching your head like, why every time I get a super hot, attractive ass woman, we get a fat, ugly ass, feminist, land whale type of bitch? Because these women feel like they deserve the best of the best. And in the future, I am going to make a YouTube video called, what is the difference between a BBW woman and a feminist woman that's fat and out of shape? Because there is a difference between two different groups of big women. It ain't just, oh, the feminist is fat women. That's part of the problem. But I already made 2 videos about the feminists, but I'm going to make a video to explain what's the difference between a plus size woman that just happens to look sexually attractive and a fat woman that's feminist. If it's a woman at your job, about 90% of the time, she's probably a fucking feminist. And she's trying to destroy and sabotage your chances of getting with a mate from the ages of 18 to 27. Because she's greedy, she's selfish, and she's self-centered. Because like most women that's in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, they're past their prime, better known as their sexual V market. Once you get to a certain age, ladies, once you hit 35, once you hit 39, 40, 45, 50, it's fucking over for you. Now, that don't mean you can't find no man to take you out to lunch and dinner, but don't be trying to rush up on an older man that's the same age as you who don't find you physically, sexually attractive. By science and by nature, heterosexual men from the ages of 35 to 65 and sometimes 70 years of age, if he's rich and famous, like Donald Trump, want a woman that's from the ages of 18 to 27. Now, you may hate the president of the United States of America, but there's one thing that you got to give Donald Trump some serious credit for. The man dates younger, hot, attractive women. You don't see the president of the United States of America dating women the same age as him. George Clooney. We all know who the hell George Clooney is, right? He's a well-respected film director, screenwriter, and Hollywood actor. You don't see George Clooney dating older women the same age as him. You see him date much younger, much beautiful, attractive women. Same thing with Hollywood actor Leonardo DiCaprio. And the same thing could be said about Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. All these people that I named off, they date younger, hotter, attractive women. It don't matter if the woman's black and she's 18 years old. It don't matter if it's a white girl that's 22 years old. It don't matter if it's a Latino girl that's 25. They want to date women from the ages of 18 to 27. They don't want to date somebody's mother or grandmother. And you see, what the problem that we have here in America is that we get in a case where we got your fathers and your grandfathers' leftovers coming after my generation. And I'm going to make another YouTube video called Young Man's Dating versus the Old School Way of Dating. Like the old men, like the men from the 1950s and how they approach women and how they were able to get women's attention versus how me and you would approach a woman and we try to pick up females. So that's another video I'm going to probably turn into a video series. But in this video, I want to break down the 5 scenarios that you may encounter, whether you're at school, work, at the gym, or at the bar, or at the nightclub, and you may experience these 5 scenarios. So scenario number 1 is about 99.99% of the time, you're going to get a 250 pound or 350 pound or 450 pound fat, ugly, unattractive, feminist type of bitch who is going to destroy and sabotage your opportunity to get a mate. Now, it doesn't matter if the girl is 18 and she puts all the moves out on you. Doesn't matter if the girl is talking to you and communicating to you. The fat girl don't want you to get with the hot chick. You understand? The fat chick, and I'm not saying all fat women or feminists do this, but you have a vast majority who do this bullshit on a consistent daily basis. You go to places like Santa Monica, you go to places like The Grove, where I work at. Right in that rich area, you have a branch of people who are at a high status level of power, and they abuse their power quite a lot. They see a hot stud, they think they're entitled to the hot stud. And these are women who've been in 5 relationships, 10, 15, 20 relationships in a 25-year period. They've been in 20 relationships. They've got kids. They've got grandkids. And no heterosexual man that has options for dating is typically interested in dating someone's mother or grandmother. That's not what we're interested in. That might be a case where you might take the woman out to lunch and dinner. You might have sex with someone that's old enough to be a mother or a grandmother. But when it comes to mating and producing strong kids, that's not who you want. And you will be in a situation where if you're 31, 32, 33, pay attention around your surroundings. You will have a fat, ugly, unattractive, feminist type of bitch that will create a bunch of problems for you. You know, she'll make it so unbearable that no matter what you say, no matter what you do, she'll make it uncomfortable. One of the ways that fat, ugly, feminist type of bitches do is they physically and verbally intimidate the 18, 19, all the way up to 25. They intimidate those types of females from talking to you. So if you get a girl saying, I can't talk to you at work because if I say something really stupid, I can get fired and lose my job, that's called intimidation. And the reason why these fat, ugly, land-well, feminist type of bitches do this shit is because if I can't have the hot stud, the young, hot 18-year-old girl cannot have the hot stud. And it forces the stud to have to go outside the workplace and seek out another 18-year-old girl because the fucking fat, ugly, unattractive, feminist type of bitch is putting him in a situation where not only it's going to cost him a lot of money, he has to spend the next 5 years trying to find another 18 to 25-year-old chick in that age bracket to produce strong kids in his genetic line, in his bloodline. And that could take a very long time. Now let's get to scenario number 2. What if you got the fat cock blocker out of the damn way and all of a sudden you got a new problem? The girl takes your phone number but doesn't ever call. And what do you do when the girl doesn't want to call? Now, I made a YouTube video on this channel and on my other channel called Don't Know Is No. You might want to take a look at that video again because that talks about men asking for women's cell phone numbers, and email addresses. And a lot of times they get fake phone numbers, fake cell phone numbers, and fake email addresses. And the girl goes, well, I don't find you physically, sexually attractive. And it doesn't matter if it's a white girl, a black girl, an Asian girl, or a Latino girl. If the girl likes you, the girl is going to make the situation easy for you. If the girl hates you, she going to make it very hard and complicated for you. And the one thing that pickup artists and dating coaches don't tell you is when you need to take a break from trying to approach a female. Now, I know what you're going to say, but every time I take a break, I get attacked. And people say, you scared of women. You're scared to talk to a girl. You're scared to put it out there. Okay, well, here's what you do. You ever played the game of basketball? You ever seen the NBA? Perfect example. In basketball, in the professional world of basketball, they have a thing called fouls. You get a total of 6 fouls, you foul out the basketball game. Can't play the basketball game no more after 6 fouls. They call it fouling out. Well, let's replace the basketball, and let's say in place of the basketball, it's a girl you like. And let's say you're not a basketball player, but you are a player. And let's say the first foul you committed was you asked for her phone number. She gave you a phone number, but it's a fake phone number. So that's 1 foul. You try to ask her out to lunch or to dinner. That's 3 fouls. That's 3 rejections. At some point, the coach is going to say, time out. You need to sit on the bench because you got 3 fouls and you're not minutes. You're seconds away of picking up 3 more fouls and you won't be able to make those approaches no more because you would have pretty much fouled out of the basketball game. If you guys are not basketball fans, there is another terminology that I can use to help you understand. Baseball. If you strike out 3 times in baseball, those are called innings. You hit the ball, now you are at the dugout. You struck out a second time, you go back to the dugout. You hit the ball a third time, but you got sent back to the dugout. But it happened to you a total of 9 times. So I'm here to tell you, if you're trying to pursue a girl 7 times, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way up to 20 damn attempts, that is too many attempts to talk to the girl. So if the girl rejects you a total of 3 times, I hate to say this to a lot of you men, but if you get up to 4 tries, 5 tries, 6 tries, 7 tries, you might have to swallow your pride. It might hurt because you like the girl, you find her physically, sexually attractive, you two conversate, then all of a sudden the conversations just fucking stop. You might not like it, but you might have to leave the girl alone. Doesn't matter if the girl has a boyfriend, doesn't matter if she don't have a boyfriend. If the girl keeps telling you no 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6, 7. At some point, you got to stop and face the fact she just don't find you physically, sexually attractive. Now, I know a lot of you going to say, but what happens when 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when all of a sudden I get a private cell phone number or a restricted phone number and all of a sudden now she like me? Well, that does happen. It's happened to me 7 times. All the girls that I tried to talk to in high school and college 11 years ago, they had no interest in me. And it didn't matter if they had a boyfriend, didn't matter if they had a husband, and it did not matter if they did not have no husband or no boyfriend. They just did not find me interesting. They did not find me physically, sexually attractive at that time. And guess what? 5 years went by, 10, 11 years went by, 12 years went by. All of a sudden they pop up on classmate.com. They show up on Facebook. All of a sudden they want to talk to me, or they'll run into me at the gym, or they'll see me at the movie theater and they'll go, I remember you. You always try to get my phone number when we was in high school and college. And then whether I still remember that or not, all of a sudden they be trying to give me their contact information. And I know what you men are going to say, but at that point, the woman's got kids and I don't want a woman with kids. And I completely understand that. But you're going to encounter at least 5 out of 10 women that you meet that are going to do that, unfortunately. So let's say you talk to 10 women in 5 years, and in 5 years, all 10 women reject you. Well, at that point, you just got to move on and face the fact there's nothing you can really do about it. And then if 5 years go by and the girl's 25 years old and she want to give you a chance, she's still in her sexual prime that you can do that. But if she gets to 30 years old, then it's to the point where you don't know if you're interested in the person anymore, because now she's 30. But if she gets 35 or 40, don't be afraid to say, well, it's too little too late and I don't want to deal with someone that made me wait all these years for a fucking chance. Because I'm just trying to tell you, now you might say, when is the right time to move away? I'm going to say after 4 rejections. So if you get rejected 4 times in 8 months of talking to a girl, I don't care if it's the nightclub, I don't care if it's the bar, I don't care if it's the gym, I don't care if it's your fucking workplace. After 4 rejections, at some point, if the girl just want to be friends, yeah, and I know you guys hate the fucking friend zone. I hate the fucking friend zone too. But if that's all she want, just accept it. Now, some guys might say, well, what if I talk to another girl and she get jealous? Well, that's a part of the game. She's going to get psycho crazy when she see you talk to another girl. It's going to happen. And at that point, there ain't nothing you can do about that either. Now, I said in old videos that if you do that, that makes the girl chase you. Another thing that makes the girl chase you at your job or at the gym is if you get a car. A lot of times if you get a car and the girl goes, that's a nice car, you can always respond by saying, remember, you said I can't talk to you, remember? That's how you stop that bullshit. And you see, I'm going to make another video called What Happens When Women Come Back to You and the scenarios you find yourself when women come back to you. But I can't explain all of that in one damn video because the video will be too damn long to upload. Now, the next scenario is called I don't want to talk to you because I don't want to talk to you. Now, some men get emotional distressed when a woman says, I can't talk to you at the gym, or I can't talk to you at work, or I just can't talk to you. But then you see her talking to her girlfriends, you see her talking to other guys, and you get pissed off because it ain't fair to you that you're being excluded. I'm going to tell you something that somebody told me in the martial arts. All my martial arts teachers tell me this, and it took me a long damn time to understand what all my martial art teachers were telling me. Sometimes in life, it's actually a good thing that a woman fucking told you off. I'm going to say it again, because I know y'all going to say, what? I didn't hear that. Well, Alex, say that again. Sometimes it's actually good for a woman to tell you to fuck off. Actually, sometimes it's actually good because it gives you an opportunity to self-improve yourself. So if 5 years go by, 10, 15, 20 years go by, and all of a sudden the woman has seen you have grown up, you have self-improved yourself to the point where now she does find you physically, sexually attractive, you can always tell her, I'm not interested in you. And the girl will try to play stupid and say, what do you mean you're not interested? You got a house, you got a car, you make money, you look good, you're in athletic shape. And you can say, again, I'm flattered, but I'm not interested. At that point, you've rejected the girl. And the girl takes it personal because at that point, she don't understand why you're rejecting her. But then subconsciously, she actually does know what the fuck she's doing because what it is she goes off with her girlfriend's opinion. Her girlfriends will tell her, well, if I don't like him, then you shouldn't like him. And when girls listen to other women, unfortunately, they're going to do that. And then a lot of times what happens is you talk to a girl that's not even at your job, and the only reason why the women at your job are talking to you is because someone that doesn't come to your job is talking to you. There are also times where you talk to a woman from another country, and the only reason why women from America are even speaking to you is because it's a woman from a foreign country. That also happens too to a lot of men. And a lot of times men be saying to themselves, why does it take me doing something extreme to make you pay attention? Now, if you guys don't want to wait no 5 or no 10 years or no 15, 20 years for a girl to fucking wake up and pick you, there is a shortcut to this, but it's going to cost money. And I'll talk about that in the next video.